Hey guys, Chris here for unmatchedvoyages.com, and I'm super excited to show you this hotel today. We are in Osaka, Japan, and we are checking out Japan's first Waldorf Astoria. We are in Osaka, and here of course you have a St. Regis, you have a Ritz-Carlton, a Four Seasons, so quite a couple of very strong brands to compete with, but I can't wait to show you around. This looks like the perfect blend of modern hotel with Japanese kind of elements, so let's go inside and see what we can find, yeah? Alright, as always, let's have a quick look at where the hotel is located. As the name says, the Waldorf Astoria is in Osaka, and as you can imagine, for such a property, it is really central, right next to kind of the main train stations within Osaka, so super central. It's hard to actually show it because the satellite data is quite old, but you can see here this Umekita Park right next to the hotel. This is now very beautiful and nice, and the Waldorf itself is in this grand green tower. You can see here this cube-shaped part, those are the rooms, and in the front you have the massive lobby. The Waldorf then itself is quite close to this mall, so it's super convenient to reach. The hotel entrance, however, is a little bit hidden, but you can see these massive doors opening into what's a beautiful ground floor kind of lobby. This is more just the entrance, also for car parking, and you're then escorted up to the 29th floor to what is the main floor. And you can see here already the view is stunning, and I'll show a little bit more, but we first have to walk to the reception. It's quite a bit of a walk, as you can see, but I like the greenery here and there, and also the absolutely stunning looking reception kind of circle building or room. Check-in came with a refreshing towel and cold tea, and we were then being escorted to the 33rd floor, which was where our room was. And during that walk to our room, I just wanted to highlight just how nice actually the hallways here look. But let's see about the room. Welcome, welcome, come on in. Let me show you the premier king room that we have here. We're looking at around 50 square meters. It's one upgrade from a deluxe king room, and let me just guide you through. Okay, really quick, here at the entrance you have your stuff. Like you have your storage area open. I think this is great. Always like to have a lot of storage stuff. So plenty of coat hangers as well. And then just take in this beautiful, beautiful design here. I love that they come with these like beige wooden colors and also this kind of like greenish blue colors. It's super bright, as you can see. I hope the camera doesn't blow it out, but we have floor to ceiling windows here. They open automatically whenever you come into your room, which is a cool feature. And then you also have this seating area here, so you really can take in the sights of Osaka. In terms of the view, I think it's quite interesting. There's basically a standard view or a not so good view. This is our current one. And then we also have a river view, which might be a bit more enticing with, I think, the skyline. But nevertheless, there's a lot going on, and it's always super nice to watch. In terms of goodies, we come here with a diamond status, so that means that we also get a little welcome gift in the form of this. And then let me also briefly show you, pretty standard, you have your minibar, you get complimentary water, still and sparkling, which is nice, as well as the Nespresso machine, so you have plenty of these big dome capsules here. TV is also quite nice. I think it's very big. You can easily watch it from the couch, and then you can also pull this out and point it towards the bed. So if you want to watch in the evening, no problem at all. The bed definitely is a highlight, and even to begin with, like just at these like intricate woodworks, it's really, really pretty. The bed itself is definitely a bit on the harder side. I think it's quite common in Japan. I think I will sleep very well on this. And of course, you can also order different pillows if you want. You have USB-C and power plugs alongside the hotel. One thing to note is that the power plugs are the American, like the US standard. So bring your adapter if you're coming from a different power plug standard. And then because it's a fairly new hotel, they use also a fairly new tablet to kind of control like all the lights and the curtains and everything. You can set like the do not disturb and whatnot, so really like that. You can control everything from the bedside, so you don't have to get out of bed in the evening. All right, then let me show you also the bathroom. And I think here as well, with these like super high ceiling, it feels very spacious. You don't have direct daylight, you don't have windows here, but regardless, I feel like with the windows and the space that the bathtub here commands, it goes really well in terms of feeling, you know, spacious enough. You don't feel like stuck or kind of claustrophobic. And then I really like what they did with kind of the general design. You have this kind of beige color here through the marble, and then again this like bluish green everywhere throughout the room. I think it's super pretty. Of course, and that's always a highlight for us, the Aesop amenities come in terms of shower gel, in terms of conditioner, shampoo, mouthwash. You have here the hand lotion and the hand wash, so everything here. Okay, let's have a quick look here also at the shower, if we can. Pretty nice rain shower, looks very, very spacious, I have to say. Of course, you'd expect that for that amount of price, but definitely very nice. And then also we have incredibly fluffy bathing robes with the Waldorf Astoria Osaka logo stitched in, so that's quite cool. And then lastly, let's have a quick look at the restroom. Nothing too special here, but it's a very nice Toto kind of smart toilet with like all the Japanese kind of clever functions you'd expect, so we always love those, so very nice. All right, so that's the room, 50 square meters. I think definitely design-wise super nice. I really love the design because they really combine this kind of traditional Japanese style with the wooden tones and like the wooden like craftsmanship with a very like modern kind of design. So very nice so far. Let's then next have a look at the restaurants. You just saw the Jolie Brasserie, which is where the breakfast is. There is a sushi and teppanyaki place called Tsukimi, the bar Canes and Tails, and the kind of main thing about the Waldorf Astoria, the Peacock Alley here in the lobby area. And let me first talk about the Peacock Alley, because for one, this is really the heart of the hotel, kind of the main thing with this amazing view. And it's also the place we ate at the most, and which is also, I think, the most popular, even with people from outside the hotel. You have these stunning views, and then it's also very famous for its high tea, which you can see here, and for which we used our Unmatched Voyages hotels credit to offset the cost there. But you can also have regular meals, so we regularly went there to eat the beef stroganoff, which is my absolute recommendation. It was super good, and we came there I think 3 or 4 times just for that meal, so absolute recommendation on my side there. The Canes and Tails bar, on the other hand, is a very hidden one. You can see here it's a bit of a speakeasy bar, so it is very tiny and hidden, and you better make sure that you reserve because it can be quite in demand. But nevertheless, you get the same amazing view, especially in the evening, and you can get some amazing cocktails like this one I had here with a tempura battered shiso leaf. For the breakfast, you then head to the Jolie Brasserie, only that it might not look like this, but rather like this. So what's going on here? There's queues everywhere for the breakfast, and this was on multiple days, so definitely not good planning, and please keep that in mind if you come on a weekend day, that you will have to wait quite long, and that's definitely not a feeling that you want to have in a luxury hotel. So what do you get at $1,000 a night breakfast? Let me show you around the breakfast variety, and I have to say it's definitely very nicely presented, and most of the foods were quite decent. But I also have to say that it was not a lot of options. You can see here, this is one part. They are preparing some dishes over here, and then this is the other section of the breakfast. So this is really it. Not a lot of warm dishes. You don't get a lot of selections. I think they try to go for quality over quantity, but I'm not fully convinced this was fully the right decision here. And while we're looking at some examples of the things we got from the breakfast table, you might have noticed that there were no egg dishes, because those ones you're supposed to order from this menu. The downside is that this menu also has the waffles, pancakes, these kind of dishes, French toast, and you're only allowed to order one dish from this menu, so you have to decide between an egg dish and a waffle or pancake. Like, Waldorf Astoria, what's going on? This is not acceptable. We just went to the Waldorf Astoria Bangkok, and it was exceptional breakfast, and you could order just as much as you want, as it's case in most of the luxury hotels. So to me, that's a super big flaw. with this hotel, and I hope they can change it in the future. So definitely the breakfast so far is a big weak point, and I have to say, with the limited variety and also the limited ordering quantity from the a la carte menu, this so far has not been very convincing to us. Next we head to the 30th floor to the fitness and wellness area. That's definitely quite a highlight at the hotel. You have this fitness room on the 30th floor, and you can see here you have plenty of machines, all very modern, I believe, techno gym branded machines, and you also get this amazing view over the park and over the train station. I think it looks stunning, and you also get some fresh fruits and infused water and granola bars, so definitely a nice place to get a workout done. Further down the hallway then there is the pool, and that is definitely also quite a highlight. Again, on the 30th floor, to have this indoor pool is super nice. You can use it all year around, and you can see it's not massive, but it's also not super popular or in demand, I feel like, and you have plenty of beach chairs to spend some time, and you can even from the pool see Osaka City. There also are some steam rooms, sauna rooms, and also a jacuzzi, but it is gender separated, so keep that in mind that it is in the dressing rooms for men and women. Lastly, I want to mention the library, which is also on the 30th floor right next to the spa and fitness area. And it's basically a small, very nicely furnished room you can see here where you can relax a bit, and you get a coffee machine and you get tea, and you can just calm down here a little bit. Now, you only have coffee and tea, so it's not like a traditional lounge, but I think it is still quite nice to kind of sit together, just sip a cup of coffee before you go out, and definitely a thumbs up from our end. So, with all that in mind, can I recommend the Waldorf Astoria Osaka? I must say I'm having a bit of a hard time. Now, the rooms were beautiful, the location is fantastic, the restaurants are very good, and having an indoor pool is great. However, given the price level, you have a lot of other hotels. Even the Conrad Osaka, which is a little bit cheaper, gave us a really good experience. You can watch our review on our channel, of course. And you also have the Ritz-Carlton Osaka, the St. Regis Osaka, you have a Four Seasons. There's a ton of amazing hotels. And with the lapses at the breakfast, where you have long queues, where you can only order one dish from the a la carte menu, you only have a very small variety of breakfast items from the buffet, this just doesn't feel like a $1,000 a night hotel. And also the service throughout some of the restaurants was a bit bad, I must say. It took quite long for us to sometimes get the attention of the waiters. So overall, it is a very refined hotel, and if you can, I think it's still worth it to give it a try if you're curious and if you're in the Hilton ecosystem. If you do, definitely check out our own Hilton for Luxury rates that we offer on our website www.unmatchedvoyages.com/booking, because you get a Hilton member rate with a lot of extra benefits and double Hilton points, so it's really worth it if you use it. So, if you've been to the Waldorf Astoria Osaka as well, please let me know in the comments below. I always am curious whether this is just, our experience, or whether everyone has this kind of experience as well. And as always, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. So, cheers.